Spartans are descended from Hercules himself. Taught never to retreat, never to surrender. Taught that death on the battlefield is the greatest glory he could achieve in his life. Spartans, the finest soldiers the world has ever known.
To the ground. The 1,000 nations of the Persian Empire descend upon you.
What must a king do to save his world?
Instead, ask yourself, what should a free man do?
Threaten my people with slavery and death. This is madness. Madness. This is Sparta! New age has begun. An age of freedom. And all know that 300 Spartans give their last breath to defend it. Spartans, tonight we dine in hell. Give them nothing, but take from them everything.
I love that movie. 300. The Hard Way. What's up, Nitro Nation? Yes, the Muggy made it to 300. I don't know how, because as I've told you guys in the past, you know, and I've been told by many, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm probably one of the most controversial 8-scale Nitro guys that has come along, and you know, and does that say, oh, I'm badass? Or, no, just, and what I mean by controversy, because I don't, you guys know that have been following me, and I'm going to give some shout outs to, you know, people that, if it wasn't for these people, I wouldn't have hit 300. Now, because you hit 300 subscribers, that means, oh, you know, let's have a retirement party, you know, the Muggies, you know, is getting a check from YouTube. I wish, you know, that shit ain't happening anytime soon. Let me set you guys here for a second. You guys are looking at the surgery table. You know, the Muggy is super OCD when it comes to cleaning, maintaining, and, you know, I've always emphasized that. I think it's, again, it's one of the most important things, I think, in 8-scale Nitro is upkeeping and maintaining your stuff. One of the reasons that you have a lot of mechanical failures, and I don't want to get too technical, but, you know, or things go wrong, it's because, you know, people don't upkeep. They don't check their stuff. They don't maintain it. They don't clean it thoroughly. They just, you know, again, people are just sometimes lazy and think that they can just, you know, run their stuff and not have to do anything, and everything's going to be good. That couldn't be anything, that couldn't be any farther from the truth. Nitro is a lot of work. I think one of the reasons that I do get the little bit of respect that I do from, you know, certain people is because I put in the work, man. I work my ass off, not just, you know, for the financial, to financially support, you know, and take care of my bills, and, you know, I have rent due, and I don't live with mommy and daddy, you know, and I've heard people make comments like that. Oh, well, you know, you live in your mom. You guys have seen my mom and dad's pad. My parents, I wish I lived, I mean, I did stay there at one time, but I'm a grown-ass man, okay? And I would think that from, you know, and I'm speaking for myself, but that people out there would, if you are a grown-ass man, when you have, you're going to have grown-ass problems. And not to get off subject, but, I want to give shout-out right now, before I give the other shout-outs, to, I'll call it in general shout-out. I just had a buddy of mine visit me that I haven't seen in a while, and it's a guy that was getting into nitro, and he had some personal problems, and life never stops happening. Life doesn't say, okay, hold on, sir, since you're having, this problem or that problem, whatever, let's adjust for you. I learned that first and foremost as a recovered, I don't like to say recovering, because it's like you're still recovering, and I don't want to say recovered, because I'm not, who knows, as far as, what I struggle with and my personal demons, and I don't want to turn this into an NA meeting or an AA meeting, but, the Muggies always keeps it real. I have no problem putting everything out on the table, kind of like this, laying it out on the table, and if people step on it, if people spit on it, if people don't, whatever, I don't care. This is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I'm about, this is what I believe in, what I don't, and so forth, you know what I'm saying? And I always got to remember, judge as you're being, that's a biblical, judge as you're being judged, okay? And you hear people, say, treat others as you want to be treated. Biblically, that's do unto others as you would want them to do to you. Because most of the time, they're not. If you treat people like they treat you, then we're just a big train wreck. And, me and Woogie went through a lot of that. He said, she said, and I don't want to get into that. You guys, we drug you guys through it for a while. And I thought it was unfair to everybody involved, especially you, the subscribers, and people that look to us or watch us to either get entertained, either that, or to learn something, or to get inspired, or or to make a decision of maybe getting into nitro. You depend on certain people, just like I'm sure a lot of people depend on Mr. Za, because of his status in the scheme of things. But anyway, this guy came by, and he's pretty messed up. I mean, he's still alive, because I haven't seen him in a while. But, this is a shout out to all those that struggle. Those of you that struggle with addictions, those of you who struggle with whatever. If you're a shopaholic. I got an addiction now that replaced my other addiction. My addiction now is 8-scale nitro. I am addicted to this stuff. I eat, sleep, breathe, crap, 8-scale nitro. It's a sickness. I am as sick in the head, and I make jokes sometimes, and friends of mine say, hey man, maybe you need to go to, Nitro Anonymous. I can just picture that, guys that have meetings there, and, they got, shirts on that say Techno and Associated and Mugen and Kosh or whatever, and they're, got their hats on that say that, whatever whips they like to run, and, these guys got like pistons on their keychains, and they're just sick in the head, gearhead, nitro addicts, right? Talking about what they struggle with. Yeah, I just went online and I spent another $500 and I shouldn't have. That would be crazy. But anyway, those of you that people that struggle, I've had guys make comments that told me, listen, I appreciate your videos because I'm a recovering heroin addict, and your videos, I like actually long videos because it gives me something to watch and keeps me busy while I'm wrenching and so forth. That means a lot to me. I've had guys say I struggle with alcohol, and struggle with different addictions. And they showed, that they appreciate what I do, and it's pretty cool. That wipes away all the thumbs down, all the haters, all the negatives, all the trolls. I could care less about those people. Not that I need somebody to compliment me to inspire me or anything, but I think it's pretty badass. So again, shout out to those people, and I'm just, I'll keep those in prayer, and my friend too. And I know Eastside RC, that guy, was praying for a buddy of theirs. I think Mr. Zahn knows him too, but we're all family. Sure, we're gonna fight. Sure, we're gonna bicker. Sure, we're gonna butt heads, because we're grown ass men. You know what I mean? We're stubborn. I know, speaking for myself, I'm stubborn, man. I'm a stubborn, hard-headed, like a mule, sometimes. You know, and sometimes you gotta learn the hard way, unfortunately. And I've learned the hard way plenty of times, you know. So I can definitely tell you in 8-scale nitro what not to do. What not to try. Let me save you all the headaches. Okay? But I didn't get to 300 subs because people, you know, thought that, you know, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, or I got the baddest whips, and, you know, I got some pretty decent stuff. You know, and I like sharing. I mean, you guys are, every time, I'm not in a barn, or I'm not in a garage, I'm not in a bait. You guys, when I do these videos, you guys are in my room. I sleep there. You know, we have a kitchen in this house. I built my own makeshift. I eat here. I got a pretty cool setup, by the way. How many people that you know in a nitro cave that's got this stuff? You know, I got my coffee machine over here set up. This is my coffee station, you know. I've got my killer, red's one of my favorite colors, microwave set up. You know, I've got my skillet. You know, I've got this badass, by the way, shout out to my mother. My mother is a true badass. She got this for me. It's an early Christmas present. I mean, this is badass. Look, I mean, how many people you know have one of these in their cave? A freaking oven. I can cook pizzas, and I can cook anything in here, man. And you guys know the Muggy loves to cook. You know, I got my little refrigerator. I don't know what I have in my refrigerator here. I'll let you guys look at my refrigerator. Gotta have plenty of eggs. Got some energy drinks, milk, water, tons of salsa. You know, I mean, nothing excited. You know, this isn't like 8-scale nitro cribs or anything like that. You know, I got the biggest room in the pad. I am truly blessed, man. Every day I wake up and I look at my sexy whips over here, like my one-of-a-kind badass MBX 7 RT race truggy with its modified, bam, 28.8 Rex Legend. By the way, people, that's the RB modded 28, and it has the Novarosi 9986. And no, wait a minute. Does it? No, I'm sorry. I forgot what I even got in this thing, man. I haven't ran this thing. It seems like, oh yeah, this one has the 2148 Triton pipe. And we'll touch a little bit on pipes, because I know Woogie's, you know, checking out pipe combos, because he's got his first mod, by the way. You know, shout out and congrats to Woogie Nitro. It's taking that step to the next level of Nitro, which is modded motors. You know, and you know, I've got a few of them. I don't got, you know, tons of them, but I've got a few of them. And, you know, I'm very proud of, you know, the work that I do. You know, take some pride in what you do, people. I mean, it's your channel, your money, your stuff. Take some pride in what you do. I do, man. I take, that's why sometimes in the past, you guys know, I've got caught up in, you know, stuff because of, you know, because I take things sometimes too personal. And you got to separate the person out. Like when I step into this cave, we're talking about Nitro. Has nothing to do with my work, has nothing to do with my family, even though I mention family in here, you know, a lot, because, you know, we're like a family, you know, but my personal life, you know, so, and I wake up every morning and I look at my sexy ass whip over here. You know, I get to look at my other whips in here, and, you know, I get to come over here and grab a cup of, you know, my nitro fuel. This is the Muggy's nitro fuel. By the way, this is somebody asked me about this. Here, this is my Amazon cup. Just walk out shopping. Hold on a minute. Let me take a... By the way, my friends make fun of me because my coffee, I like to drink my coffee like cocoa. Lots of cream, lots of sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. That's how the Muggy likes his coffee. Different flavors of creamer, different types of coffee. I like flavored coffee. I have a grinder where I can grind my own coffee. It's an old school grinder. You know, I am a coffee drinker. You know, I don't drink the espresso or like that Delta stuff. I don't think I need that. So if I drank that Delta stuff like Mr. Za, man, Muggy would be like off the hook. So anyway, to get back to what we're talking about, you know, I love what I do. And when you lose that little bit of that fire, or that spark, and I've had that happen before, and you look at it, your stuff, and you know, whatever, they're not feeling it, or because personal things are weighing you down. Hey, man, sometimes we need to take a break. Sometimes we need to just step away and give videos a break, and you know, because sometimes I think we get caught up in trying to look good or please people, and I've been accused of that. Oh yeah, you just go out and buy your stuff. You just, of course I buy it. How else do you get it? But you guys know I've never bought a brand new whip to this day. I've got an MBX 8T race trucky that I got a smoking deal on. You know, I mean, this thing, I'm going to show you everything that came. My cousin finally brought all the rest of the stuff. I mean, I got a lot of stuff here, people. And I got a smoking deal on the Techno buggy, you know. And this is all blessing, man. This stuff can go away and be taken away at any, you know. And that's what, there's a saying that I like to say, and, you know, as a recovering alcoholic, or recovered alcoholic, or whatever, you're always just one bad decision away from being back where you were before. Okay? And I don't forget that. Whenever I have the urge, and every once in a while, you know, beer sounds good, but no bueno, man. The muggy, no bueno. Because one's not enough and 1,000 is too many. And for those of you guys that drink, hey, if you can handle it, I'm not programmed that way. The muggy's not built that way. Just alcohol and me, just we're you know, it'd be like you throwing, you know, Traxxas fuel in a Novorosi or a Pico modded. That shit it probably wouldn't even run. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I always give Traxxas a hard time. Yeah, but you know, I mean, credit due where credit's due, criticism due where criticism due. So anyway, shout out to those people that struggle with addiction and that have kicked the addiction, and you know, just so you guys know. And it's not like a shout out like, oh, good. Shout out meaning that, hey, if you struggle with it, we're here. We're all family. There's guys that are a text away, a phone call away. You guys that know me have my personal number. Those of you that need to get a hold of me somehow, you know how to do it. If there's a will, there's a way. Hey, man, I'm there to help people in any way. Not just in Nitro, man, but personally, man. I've been through a lot. You know, and to stand here before you guys, almost 4 years coming up now, clean and sober, man, it's pretty awesome. And as a result, look, God has blessed me with all this stuff, man, because I shouldn't have all this. And this is stuff that I always wanted, you know, but I just never could obtain it because of personal stuff, because of the personal demons, and because of the decisions that I made, you know. We all make bad decisions, but that doesn't mean we have to pay for it for the rest of our lives. Okay, so anyway, being that said, 300, that's crazy, man. How does a guy that everybody hates, loves to hate, controversial, guy that talks crap to everybody, but he backs it up, guy that talks about Traxxas. By the way, check this thing out, man. Let me hold this up for you guys so you can see it. I actually, to say that I'm proud, not of this whip, but that I actually, well, actually I am, because for me to do this, you guys know how much I can't stand Traxxas. Look at this beast. I built this for my cousin's. He said it's for one of his kids. He's BSing, it's for him. He just knows how much I hate Traxxas, so he won't admit it. And he's got some whips that he wants me to work on, so you guys are going to see some other whips come through the cave. But look at this thing, man. I built this thing for him. All aluminum, everything. Now, remember, the DNA of this thing is still no bueno, garbage. Because of why? Because that right there. Because it is a Traxxas, no matter how you slice it. You can put all the band-aids on it and all the goodies on it. You know, I mean, it looks pretty cool and everything, but it's still the DNA of this thing. Oh, by the way, I just broke in this motor, too. It's, he said it was a, I forgot. It's a .18 pull start. Man, I do not miss pull starts, and man, never, ever, ever will I own a pull start. These things are headaches. I'm surprised it hasn't broke on me when I was breaking it in. But I broke it in. You know, 4 tanks. The old Byrons. What do we use here in the Muggy Cave? Bam! That's it. Byrons? Italians? Or nothing. You got that right, people? I didn't stutter. Byrons? Or Italians? Or nothing. Okay? Period. End of story. Not even a discussion. Okay, so anyway, I marked these. That's... Oh, hold on a minute. You guys are like, oh, are you cooking something, Muggy? No, I'm charging my glow igniters. By the way, if you want an inexpensive for you guys that are on a budget, I've been using this for probably about a year now. It's a knockoff of the Sky RC. It's an IMAX B6. I think, you know, Nitro Knucklehead, he has one too, and he used it for 30 bucks, I think, or less. I've never had an issue with this thing. It comes with all the connections. Do not use those plugs that come. If that's all you got, then you have to use it, but keep in mind, those things are what jacks up your glow igniters. You heard Mr. Zob say it plenty of times. Get that thing and throw it away. Buy one of these, man. They're inexpensive. For less than 20 bucks, I've never had an issue with this thing. I've dropped it on the ground. I've stepped on the thing on accident, beat it to hell, and this thing, never an issue. Charges lipos, NiCads, nickel NiCads, nickel cadmiums, your glow igniters, everything, man. So I highly recommend it, especially if you don't have the money, a lot of money. I can't believe I'm still using it because, you know how I am. But the Muggy can, if you get something and it's working, then why change it? Why would I go out and spend $100 or $150 on it? Sure, the dynamite ones and all those other ones are way better than this, but this thing works, man. And I'm not running LiPo, so I don't need a special charger, man. Well, I do have a LiPo. You guys know I have. Check this out. You guys seen I have the LiPo 3000 milliamp, which is for the bump box. I have an extra bump box now. It's a Duratrax. It came with it for free. And the LiPo for the receiver. But look, see this? This is a thermist. I'm like, I'm Family Affairs. Shout out to Family Affairs, man. He's like, dude, I couldn't sleep at night knowing that you put that thing in the box, because I did. When I was showing you all the stuff that came with Techno Buggy. It's a LiPo, man. You know the Muggy doesn't like LiPos. No bueno. So I'm like, what am I going to put it in? I almost kept it outside. And I have this one, which is it's a ProTech LiPo 2300. So I figured, you know what? If it's going to melt, blow up, catch on fire, here. Let's put it in this aluminum thermos, and it can catch on fire in here. It ain't gonna do nothing. So anyway, I'm not gonna buy a box because I don't plan on keeping those. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get rid of those soon. I'm not the LiPo guy. You guys do whatever you want, whatever works for you. So anyway, yeah, this charger, man, works really good. I do recommend it if you don't have the money. I believe that you can go online if you guys need a part number or whatever. I mean, here, look at it. LiPo Balance Charger, IMAX B6. The only thing it doesn't come with is it doesn't come with the power plug. So what I did is certain ones, these are, it's a computer, for your laptop, the plug. So I use that. It works. So anyway, yeah, Byron's. When I'm breaking in, this is I mark my bottles. Nitro Infamil Premix. I put a little bit of Marvel Mistral and I put a little bit of Novarossi engine oil in there. Shake it up. Gives it a little bit more lubrication. Because this is 2012. I like it at least 2014, 15 maybe. I like it nice and just gooey and thick and nasty. Protect your motors, man. And my adult formula, I call it. This is the adult Brat formula, and I number the bottles. because I buy them by the gallons and then I'll fill these up. That way, if I'm going to my brap spot, I'm not going to take a gallon or whatever. I can either take this or, and I number them in accordance. So because sometimes I'll get another gallon and I'll still have a quarter of a gallon left. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I just kind of keep it rotated, like if it was milk or whatever, or anything like that. But anyway, so yeah, again, 300, man. How does the Muggy get to 300 when people just hate this guy? And all these thumbs down. I think I've probably got the record. If you put all my videos that I've done together and add up all the thumbs downs combined, I bet I've got more thumbs down than anybody on YouTube. They ought to give away some kind of award for that. That would be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having that. Shoot, I don't care. So shout out to all the thumbs down, all the trolls out there, even you guys, and thanks for the views, by the way. So anyway, what's going on? We got a lot going on in the cave right now. Oh, another thing too, check this out. Somebody texted that to me, and I ended up emailing it to myself and then printed it and put it in the frame. Any questions? Lazy. So what do we got going on? Well, we are tearing apart the MBX8. So for those of you, again, that asked me the question, hey Muggy, what do you think? Mugen? Techno? Well, they're both badass platforms. They're both very durable, regardless what people say. If you've never ran, if you don't own or ran a Mugen, pillow-balled Mugen, okay, and this is kind of, sometimes stuff like this does irritate me, but I'm going to try to be cool. I'm not going to get all fired up, even though it does fire me up sometimes. And this goes for anything, okay? But if you don't have or own or ran a Mugen, pillow balls, and jumped it 30, 40 feet in the air, and it's never broke, then by all means, fill us in. So what am I saying? For the people that say, oh, the pillow balls, they won't last in bashing. Really? Okay, people have said that in the past. Well, where's your proof? Somebody run a video, show me a Mugen, any Mugen, I don't care if it's an old school one like mine, jumping or on a track, busting a pillow ball, video it, upload it, and then we'll talk. I don't care what you've seen or what you heard or maybe you experienced it. Okay, well, where's the proof? If there's no proof, then again, it's an ignorant comment. What does ignorant mean? Well, I don't know how many times I got to tell people. Ignorance, the definition, Webster's definition of ignorance, is lack of knowledge and information. And that goes for anything in general. If you're going to make a comment about something and you don't even own it, then shut the hell up. Or show us your proof. Give us some footage. Show your Mugen or a Mugen or his friends, whoever it is, jumping and busting a pillow ball. I've never seen one on video yet. Not to say that it hasn't happened. I'm not saying that. But, because I get tired of people saying that. And, like I told you guys, and I've said it in the past, we're going to prove either way. Okay, whether it's when I start to get back into racing, hopefully here soon, or I get to the wetlands, or build my own ramp, or do like Woogie and put a piece of wood and launch the thing in the air and do some lawn darting, and it breaks the pillow balls, then there we go. There it is. I want to put it, either way I'm going to show it to you. I'm not afraid. If it breaks, and hey, all the people that said that they wouldn't hold up, I guess you're right. But until then, if there's no evidence or proof or anybody has any footage of it, I don't care. I'm tired of hearing all this. And that goes a lot for, and that, like I said, that's for anything. If you're going to talk out your side of your neck, Back it up with some proof and evidence. And you know what really irritates me is the people that make these comments. They don't even have a channel. They don't even have, they're trolls. Most of them, you know, I'm not saying they all are, but I'm pretty sure most of them are. Okay? So like I said, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Not on my channel. Because you will get that ass spanked. Okay? Don't let your mouth write checks your ass can't cash. So if you're going to do all this bumping of your gums, hey, let's see the evidence. Let's see the proof. If not, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear it. I don't think nobody else does. Well, maybe they do. I don't know. Some people just, you know, jones for any kind of entertainment, no matter what it is, good or bad. So anyway, the MBX7 is being torn. Now, you guys seen it run the last video, hopefully, most of you. That, before we get into the actual platform, that motor, I took it, tore it completely down. Just because that's how I am. You know how the muggy is. This thing is like one of the best quality. Now, this is where Novarossi is at their peak. Okay, this is basically Novorossi's at their finest engineering that I've seen, and I've opened up a bunch of them. Okay, mostly the Novarossi 28.8s, but I've opened up Picos, I've opened up Reds, I've opened up LRPs, I've opened up OSs, I've opened up 21s. The only thing I haven't opened up is a .25, you know, but again, it's Novarossi. Most Novarossis are I used to think were Novorossi's are Novarossi. You know, they're quality Italian engineered motors. Well, this Virtus, it's called, .21. By the way, I think on my video I said it's a 9-port. Well, I stand corrected. This is a 7-port. I mean, look at the head. I've never seen this. I didn't when I started, I don't know why I didn't notice it before. Look it. It's got 6 head bolts. It's like a freaking, like a rim. I mean, look at the way it's sunk in. I mean, look at that. Look at the quality. This thing is bitchin' piece of billet. This is some work right here, people. You know the muggy what I do. I do a lot of machining and mostly aerospace stuff, manufacturing and deburring and CNC. I'm just getting into the CNC stuff, which is you're just babysitting a machine, pretty much, once you know how to program. But anyway, look at the button head. I mean, why don't we get this on the 28? Why don't we get a seal like this? Look at that button head. By the way, I don't know what the guy ran in it before. I mean, even though he said he had 5 tanks, I figured he had more than that. Oh yeah, and quick side note, when people tell you if you're buying something used or barely, whatever, listen. Whatever they say, usually double it, okay? If they say they ran 5 tanks, they probably ran 10. Because you know they're not going to tell you the truth. But the burn chamber doesn't look too bad. It's got carbon fit. Remember, I used to think carbon buildup, a lot, you know, is bad. A lot of it, yeah. If it's black, then that's one thing. But if it's like this, that's fine. That's normal. This thing's got right now about, I'd say about 10 tanks. 10 tanks through it. Okay. And like I said, I don't know what fuel he ran before. But eventually running Byron's, this will clear up a little bit. Byron's doesn't burn this dark, so whatever fuel he ran. Piston. Look at the piston. It looks pretty fresh to me. Look at the top of the pistons. Look at that. It's got that dimple in it. Obviously, from what I hear, it's, you know, something to do. I'm not sure the technical reason why that's done. Somebody told me, but I forgot. I mean, look at the Conrad. I mean, this is, I mean, the engineer, I mean, the machine work. Look at this crank, man. It's got freaking, I don't know if they're tungsten, but it's slugged and balanced. The end of it looks like it's DLC coated. It's not a DLC coated crank, but if you look at the end, because of the dark color, might be. Now, this definitely needs a ramp. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see in there. That's like a little freaking bowl. Definitely needs a ramping. But I don't know. I might not mess with this motor. I might use this one to race when I get back into race. I mean, look at the sleeve, man. Look at the work. Check that out. Look at the porting, people. This is a bone stock .21. Look at that. I mean, this, if you look how thick it is. It's like it's doubled. It's like a double thick walled. This has plenty of meat. So if I did want to get it modified, oh yeah. Rick or Lance could do some serious port work to this puppy. But I mean, look at that. It's got like a bridge in between it. I mean, this is a quality, man. When I opened this up, I tripped out. I mean, the back plate isn't anything special. I mean, Reds have one of the best ones I've seen so far. But I mean, even look here. It's better than the 28.8. I mean, there you got the carburetor. You know, your one of a kind, best freaking carburetor in 8-scale nitro, hands down, no questions at all. And this is the I hate that needle though. The one that's only the 2 adjustments, high and low, those are the best. These work, and they're still better than most of them, but probably better than anything. But you know, I mean, look at the block. Look at the top of the head. Look at that. I mean, this is like I priced them. They're like $250, I think. Around there on eBay, brand new. And this thing is brand new. I'm not sure if that's, I'm pretty sure that's ceramic, but I'm not positive. I know the back, the rear bearing is. You can't see it down in there, but it says ceramic on it. I mean, this is, look at, I mean, just look at the way that look at the craftsmanship. And look at the front, where the carburetor mounts. Check this out. I've never seen this before. See where the carburetor mounts? It's offset. It's not. I checked all my Novorossis and other Italian motors. This one is offset. It's not directly in the middle. See how it's to the right a little bit? Obviously that's for some. That's why this is a little badass. This motor right here, I mean, running it, and I ran the P5, and I haven't ran either one of them that much. This motor right here will get this motor. It will, I'm not going to say it will spank it, but it'll pull away from it. I think this will be better. This is better in the open because of the power band. And this has a little bit more bottom end to it. Now the reason I think this one doesn't have as much bottom end, this has lots of top. I took out the shims, and by the way, shout out to Gearhead Addict. You know, he's breaking in those motors. That guy is, you know, he's definitely moving in the right direction, going next level. Now he just needs help, and I'm trying to help him. We're gonna get Gearhead Addict a brand new whip. He wants a Mugen Truggy, so it's either gonna be a 7 or 8. But I don't mean to let the cat out of the bag, but I'll do a little pre-advertising for him because he is my nitro brother. By the way, me and him talk all the time. Really cool kid. Engine, he works on diesel engines, so go give him a shout out, people. Give him some love, some subs, you know, some view, whatever. Even if you're trolling, even if you're you know, just don't give him no thumbs down. Me, I don't care, but for new people that are starting the channel, you know, go easy on them. Anyway, he has a Mito 7 modded, and I was talking to him. He said the Mito 7 is pretty much identical to this thing. I mean, this is where Novorossi just, you know, went all out. Now, why can't they do this to a 28? Can you imagine a 28.8 Rex Legend with a piston like this? With a button head like this? With a crank like this? Sleeve? I mean, take this .21 and supersize it like 10 times. Make it bigger. Come on, Novorossi. You know, I agree with John, like he said on that one video. If I was working over there in Novorossi, I'd be cracking the whip, man. I'd be cracking heads. I'd be like, all fired up, not on Delta, but I'd be coffeeed out and rock-starred out or energy drink. And I'd be telling people, listen, you got 4 months. By the end of this year, I want to see a .32. I want to see a .28 putting out, not no 35,000. I want to see that thing putting out 50,000 RPMs, or you're all fired. I'd be cracking heads too. I agree. Just like John said on one of the videos. You guys remember that. Some of you that follow his, you know, watch every single video he does. I've watched them all, I don't know how many times. I thought that was cool. And I would feel the same way. I'd be at the factory cracking heads. Like, we need 50,000 RPM motor, like by the end of this year, or you're all out of a job. I'll be start firing people. I don't give a shit. So anyway, I think this has a lot of top end because the shims. This has a these are 30 millimeters. I just measured them with my micrometer. So these two are 30. That's 20. So where I went to school, Muggy rode the short bus. I had to take off my toes to count to figure this out. I'm just kidding. You got a 80 millimeter total stack shim of head shims in this thing. So for you guys that are the gearheads, the more technical guys, if you know what you're doing, I don't, condone this, because if you don't know what you're doing, don't even open your motor like this. I don't recommend this to anybody that's got less than a year in 8-scale nitro. Sealed back motors, not you pull start happy people, or you rotor start, fanatics. Sealed back motor. Matter of fact, I don't even recommend a modded motor, and I agree with what Mr. Zaz said back, even though they are easier to tune and less headaches, I still don't recommend it until you get a year under your belt, 8-scale nitro, even running sealed motors. Now, I know Mr. Zaz will, just 1 year in general, 8-scale nitro. The Muggy, I feel you need a year running bump box sealed back motors. 1 year. It took me 3 years, people. You guys heard me tell you that before I got my first modded. But when I did get into it, and that's why I've succeeded pretty fast, I was a lot better prepared. So, and I've only got maybe coming up on a year experience of running mods. But you guys know I run my shit a lot more than most people do. Some people say, oh, well, Muggy, you've only been doing nitro or on YouTube for, less than, or, around 5 years. That's not a lot of experience. There's people that have 10, 20, 30. Yeah, but how many people on YouTube in 8-scale nitro for the last 5 years eat, sleep, breathe, and crap nitro like me? I wake up, go to work. I wake up and look at myself. Sometimes I get up early before work and I do some wrenching. Then I go to work. Then I come home and do more wrenching. I'm living in the midst of nitro. Most people aren't. You go out to your garage, go out to your cave, go out to your barn, whatever. No, I turn around and I crash out. Get up. Get ready for work. Get some grub on. I'm around my nitro 24, well, except for work, all the time, around the clock. So I don't know anybody that does that. And am I saying, oh, I'm some special guy or I know more because I'm around it? No, I never said that. I'm just saying that, I'm in the midst of this shit. I'm always thinking. I don't care where I go, man. I think I heard Mr. Zaz say that one time. I can go to the supermarket and I'm thinking nitro. I'm telling you, man, I am sick in the head nitro gearhead. And because I have a gearhead and I have mechanical background, that's also why I've succeeded really fast too. So anyway, to get back to what we're talking about, I said on one of my videos, when I learned how to head shim a while back, you have a window, for those of you that want to get into it, that are ready for it, you have a window of 0.40 millimeters to 0.80. You don't want to go above or below, somewhere in between there. Now, the only motor that I really messed with for a while, and I got it like where I want it, is, and I think you guys, I've told you this plenty of times, is the Reds, the R5R Team Edition, modded by RB Mods, Rick. Now, Rick did a nasty job on this thing. This still, right now, of all these 2021s that I'm acquiring, this one here, I've got the P5 now, I've got an Elite 5, I've got 2 of them now, because the guy gave me another one and I already have it. This one was motor bath, supposedly, by Adam Drake. So it's barely broken in, but as you can see, he flipped it and jacked the head up, which, you know how the Muggy hates that. But other than that, this motor is brand new. But, and I already have another one, and this one's brand new, and I haven't even fired this thing up. I might fire it up before I decide if I'm going to mod it or not. I could use this one to race too. It depends. I haven't ran it, and I don't know what it does. Well, I guess one way to find out, right? So anyway, this Reds, I've messed with the shims, and I've got a .56 shim in it, and it's perfect, man. Good fuel mileage, screams its ass off, idles like perfect. Like, it shouldn't even idle that low. It should just quit. But it idles that good. Tons of bottom end, tons of mid. It's just nasty across the board. And it's got a 56 shim in it. Stack of shims. Okay? So like I was going to say, I'm thinking on this, because it has a lot of top and not as much bottom as even the P5. It has bottom, but not, I think it could get more bottom. And I could take away some top. Remember, when you go more towards bottom, you're taking away from top, and vice versa. Okay, when you put more, when you're at this shim, this thing gets good gas mileage. It runs the temperatures don't run really warm. Even screaming hot. You guys see me running my last video. I ran the thing for 20 minutes, and even after I was done filming, and it barely got over 200. Because when you're raising the head of your button head, when you're raising it, here, let me show you. When you're raising it by putting shims in it, and you're raising it above, the motor, the compression it's not as tight. So it screams more top end, less bottom end, gets better fuel mileage, and runs cooler. Now when you go the other way, and you go down on your shims, you're getting more bottom, less top, fuel mileage isn't as good, and it runs a little warmer. So that's why you want to try to find somewhere in between. So what I might do, I might take one of these out, which this would be the 20 millimeter, and see what it does with a 60 millimeter in it. If I can gain a little bit more bottom end, that's plenty. Or, I don't know, I might just leave it, because I might use this motor to race. When the Muggy has been, I talked to the owner of Revelations, where it's Adam Drake. It's about an hour and a half from me, where Adam Drake runs some of his videos, and his wife Rhonda, they film and upload for Mugen there some of his videos. It's not like a killer quality track. It's kind of rough, ruddy, really dry, packed. And I asked him, I said, hey, can I run out there? What days can you run? And blah, blah, blah. And he was telling me the days, and I said, well, when's Adam Drake out there? And he said, well, he doesn't announce when he's going to come. He just shows up. So you would just have to get the luck of the draw. But that would be badass if the Muggy, I'm not going to, I'm not saying that I'm going to, get into racing and do like the Raja 111 thing. But I just want to get my shit on a track and practice. If you guys just see filming of me doing practice runs on a track, not actually, racing against other people, hey, that's way better than what the Muggy's been doing. And I get a lot, and I'm not doing it to, I am kind of doing it, I'm not going to lie, to silence all these critics. Oh, you never jump your shit in the air, You never been on a track. Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean I don't know how to tune? Does that mean my shit don't run and that my shit ain't dialed? Listen, to me, I get more satisfaction off my shit when I run it doing this. What? Front end. Oh, shoot. Front end coming up. You know what I'm saying? I get more satisfaction out of that than I do jumping off a roof or whatever. I watch guys jump, and, I watch Mr. Za and even Woogie. That shit's boring. It's cool and it's fun. Until you start breaking shit. Then it's not fun no more. Okay, and I don't spend too much money. Some people agree, some people disagree, whatever. I spend too much money, work my ass off, put in too much time to go out there and bust my shit up for some extra views or for some ratings. Screw that. And I'm not saying it's not fun. Make a good video. But I want to see my shit. I want to see the front end up. So let me ask this, and this is to all those people out there, especially the people that criticize me, because they probably, or the people that jump your shit and you run it on a track and you rate. Show me some footage of your shit pulling the front end up. And then people say, oh, well, you got modded motors. That doesn't have just because you throw a modded motor in your shit doesn't mean your front end's going to pull up. If your shit ain't set up right, you're either going to rip gears out or you're just going to spin tires. So it's not all about just because you put a modded motor mod of 28.8 or a .32 that your shit's going to do wheelies. No. You need to set up your diffs right. You need to set up your clutch right. There's a lot more to it. You need to tune it right, obviously. My shit pulls the front end up the ground. Yes, because I do run modded motors, but because I know how to tune. I know how to dial in my shit and prep my shit. And that's one thing that took me almost 3 years to learn. Because I dropped modded motors when I first got into it and shit. And it, especially in this thing here. How many mod motors I had in here? And not even mod. Just big motors that wreaked havoc in the Muggy? Pfft, tons, man. So anyway, I want to cut this, keep this, I don't want to go over an hour. We're already on 50 minutes. Muggy's just ranting and raving. So anyway, you guys seen the motor. This motor is like Novarosi at its finest craftsmanship. Come on, people. No question. Is there any question that Italians make the best motors? This ain't no OS. I don't care if you got a Drake. I don't care about maximums. Oh yeah, they win and they're winning and they're always in the win. So what? Those motors don't last. Ask any modder. Ask Rick. Ask Lance. Those OSs and those maximums and those blocks and the LRPs and all the rice burners that they race on the circuit professionally, them things do not last. So unless you're a pro racer and you get free motors, well, you might want to look at Italians differently. You know, if you like OS, and I'm not saying OS is a bad motor. By the way, the OS that I had and got modded, I sold this to them. It's gone. You'll see it probably run maybe one more time. I think I'm going to run it for a farewell in the MBX7 Truggy. And then that's it. I'm not going to deal with China-man motors. The only one that I will get, and I told a couple guys this, if I get another rice burner motor, pea shooter especially, it's going to be I know Adam Drake just came out with the new OS motor. I watched the video, so I linked it to some of you guys, some of my close Nitro brothers. But yeah, and I'll get that one modded. And then that would be the only one modded China-man motor that I have. Other than that, it's all about freaking Novarosis, Reds, Picos, you know, and Works. Those are the Italian motors that I'm going to deal with. You know, no Chinamans, no rice burners for me. I'm good. Italian or nothing. So anyway, got the upgrades coming for the MBX7. Putting in, I think they're graphite. I thought they were carbon fiber. Graphite inserts I'm putting in here. This is just the front end and the center diff. Center diff, if you guys have Mugens or thinking about getting Mugens, the first thing you want to do, Adam Drake did a video on this. The center of the top diff cover plate, it's solid. Can you guys see that? I milled a hole out of it. You've got to want to mill a hole in it. Otherwise, because this guy didn't, and look, see that? That's what happens when if you don't put a vent in the top, like a hole, cut out a hole, that's what you're going to get. You're going to eat up your diff cup. I might have to replace this one. It's pretty bad, but it's not affecting the diff. But I'm going to replace it just because, you know, I'm anal about this type of stuff. But that's because all the dirt and rocks and whatever gravel and debris gets caught up in there and has no place to go. So this is what you want to do. So if Raja, I know you just got your 8, think about it. Do what you want to do, but Adam Drake highly recommends that. He does it to his, because otherwise you're going to eat up your cups. So there's a tip for whoever has Mugens. Get yourself one of these. I love this thing. The guy gave me this, and I got a whole tube of that white lithium grease, which is what I put in here. It's just a lot easier to spread it around, a lot less mess. Front shocks are money. He had like, I think, 25 weight or 30. I'm going 35 in the front, and I'm going to put 45 in the rear. They're dialed. What else am I replacing? Oh yeah, these are all stainless steel. The steering turnbuckles. I've got Protec titaniums. Protecs are really good. I have them. I think I have them in my Techno or my Mugen 7. But they're they're cheaper than Lunkford. Lunkfords obviously are the best. They've been around forever. But they're real expensive. You know, if you got the money, get Lunkford. But if you're kind of budgeting, look at Protecs. They're a lot cheaper and they're really good quality. So these are going to be replaced. I've got this top plate. It's on back order. This is getting to be replaced with carbon fiber because I don't want the plastic. And King Heads makes the aluminum front chassis brace. That's on back order. Not the top plate, but the braces. The rear brace I got coming. That's also King Heads. That's gonna be aluminum because I don't want chassis flex unless if I do decide, I mean, either way, I just like the support. You'll lessen the wear on your drivetrain and your clutch bell, because your clutch bell, believe it or not, will wear because your chassis flexes. So anyway, tanks cleaned up. I might think about getting a different... Oh, speaking of air filters. Now, those of you... I see guys running air filters, outerwears, or not outerwear. You're running motor savers, but you have no outerwear. Are you guys crazy? I seen a guy running, and a guy breaking in, and I said, listen, do what you want, but if you're going to run he had a Pico. I forgot what his name was. And you're not going to run the outerwear, you're asking for trouble. You're shortening the life of your motor is what you're doing. Do what you want. Like I said, it's your channel. Whatever floats your boat. But you want mandatory, man. I mean, Mr. Zai emphasizes this all the time. You need this outerwear, people. If you're running the motor saver with no outerwear, you're missing the whole thing, man. You might as well just put on the original, like I might as well just put on the Techno filter. Why even run this? You need this outerwear. If you guys need a part number, hit me up. I have it written down somewhere. Don't just run the motor saver. You need to run the outerwear. It's the whole point, man. It's like Gumby without Pokey. I mean, come on, people. I see this lately, man, and I'm like, man, that just, Muggy gets OCD. I start freaking out, and it's not even my shit. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? You need this. This outerwear is crucial to this thing to even work right. Otherwise, you're going to be cleaning it all the time. And, man, with this outerwear and the motor saver, I clean this thing like every half gallon. And you guys know how I am. I'm OCD. So, we've got the Pico pipe in the badass. Look at that sick motor. Look at that. See that, Woogie? Here you go, Woogie. There you go. This, right here, will spank that booster's ass all day long. I'm just playing. I don't know. He's got a nice boost, man. Again, congrats, Woogie, on that Pico modded next level. That's what I'm talking about. Give that Techno a real motor. Give it what it deserves. So anyway, I think I'm going to run the Techno next. So to get back to what we're talking about, Mugen, we've got everything out clean. Highly recommend. This thing came with I looked these up. The throttle is a SB2270 digital Savox. Things are $100, brushless. The other one that was in there, I had to replace. It was gritty and grimy, and it just was. It was going out, unfortunately. But anyway, I replaced it with the ProTech 100Ts. Highly recommend those. For $49.99, you can't beat it with a stick. So anyway, now I got to hit the clip next, the rear clip next, and then we're waiting for the upgrades to come, and then put her back together. I got the diff in here. Diff's getting worked on. That's the front diff. We're going 60 in the front. Or no, you know what? I'm going to keep it light because just in case, I mean, if I'm going to run on the track, I don't want to go all bananas on it. So I'm going to run 50 on the front, 50 on the rear, and I actually putting 80 in the, I put 80 in the center. So I toned it down in the center a little bit. I mean, check out these tires, man. I got 4 sets of these, people. AKA... these are gridirons, and the other ones are, they're called, what are they called? There's 2 different kinds, gridirons and impact. I think that says impact. I mean, look at them, they're brand new. Talk about grip. So Muggy's got tons of race tires. Matter of fact, I'm turning one of them. You guys are probably tripping out. You see me running it in the street. Well, one of these sets of rims, because I've got, what, 3 of them? I think these ones are going to be slicks. We're basically going to get them like the ones that I run on the buggy. These used to look like that. So we're going to get some slicks. And those will be my break-in tires. I need a set of break-in chuggy tires anyway. So the Techno NB 48.4 buggy is ready to rip. The only thing I did change from last time I ran it, we were running the 9901. We are running the... We're going to try out this OFNA 086. I want to see what this thing's got. So that's next. So we're going to run that pipe next. We got to get this thing out there. By the way, .28 shootout, RB mods versus RCR. It's to be continued. So now we have the RCR modded 28.8 Rex Legend with, what do we have in here? What's under? Oh, is that a piece of Italian jewelry there, people? What is that? Is that the 51021, formerly known as the 9886? And what is that on the back? What is that? What's on the back there? What do we got? That's a 41032, people. Alright, now I'll leave you guys with this. 9886, 41032 combo, and, or, it's up to you, 2148 Triton pipe are the only pipes that I recommend for any modded motor. Big or small. Okay? Modified. Once again, 9886, 41032 combo with or 2148 Triton. Now, Lance dynoed both of those pipes, and the 2148 on the dyno produced more power than the Novarosi 9886 and 41032. And I have ran both of them, so personal experience, that is correct. Not tons, but it does have more power throughout the whole power band. The 2148 has more power throughout the power band on a modded motor than the 9886. So you do what you want. What I like about the 2148 Triton pipe is that you can run it not just on modded, but stock, and it will increase the performance. The 41032 header with the 986, for the most part, from all the motors I've tried it on, only works really good, and you notice it the most, is on modded motors. Okay? Not that it doesn't work on stock, but you can't really tell. Now, the Triton 2148, anything. Stock, modded, 21 all the way to 32. All around pipe, and that's the way Lance designed it. So, it's $100 for that. Either way, you're spending $100. It's Italian jewelry, people. You want the best, you're gonna have to pay the money. You want to limit your headaches? Get Italian lungs, okay? There's the 9901, all polished up. And by the way, clean your pipes, people. I'm tired of looking at people with dirty, nasty pipes. You spend $100 on the damn thing. Shine it up. Take some pride, man. I mean, come on, people. Don't be lazy. Clean your stuff, man. Same thing with your tires, you know? You're going to spend, your Badlands, you're going to spend almost $100 for 4 of them with the rims and everything. Clean them. Take care of them, man. And they'll last longer. They don't make them anymore, crying out loud. So anyway, I think I pretty much covered anything. Oh, by the way, Woogie, if you're watching this, I have this. If you want it, send me an address. I'll put an envelope and I'll mail it to you. It's what you need. This is your whip. You have an MBX 5R. There's not a lot difference from yours and mine, besides your upgraded anodized blue Ferroni stuff. I think it's Ferroni. That's the company that makes the aftermarket. But they're pretty close. Mine has a couple things that yours doesn't have, but they're pretty identical. So anyway, if you want this, Woogie, shoot me your address and I'll send it to you. I'll pay for the postage. It's probably a couple dollars, who cares? But you want one of those, man. If you guys have a printer like me, buy one, or don't buy one. Hook it up to your laptop, your phone, whatever. There's $40 at Walmart. Buy one of those, man. All my whips have owner's manuals. Mandatory, man. You don't want to be putting your stuff together backwards. Alright, so we ran 65 minutes or whatever. Wow, that's a long one. Alright, people, let me get the heck out of here. I got some wrenching to do. We'll catch you guys in the next video again. Shout out to all those guys that made my video, or made the 300 subs. You know, Elite RC, shout out to you, man. Thanks for supporting me. You know, Just Joe, my brother from another mother, always had my back. Gearhead Addict, he's a little bit newer, but, you know, guy's doing a great job. 1/5 RC, Elite RC, I said Elite already. Connor Wickby, you know, and special thanks to this guy, the Muggy Maniac. That guy, man, he didn't let nobody sway his decision. He didn't let nobody get away with talking shit to him. Excuse my language. Because we just keep it 100% real in the Nitro Cave here. So, alright, people, I'm going to get out of here. Peace. Remember, do your thing the way you want to do it. Whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you smile. At the end of the day, even if you didn't get the results you're looking for, as long as you gave it everything you had, okay, and had a great attitude, okay, and learned something, you got ahead that day. And also, don't forget, when you're not running your stuff, set your piston bottom dead center. Alright, people, that's all I got. Catch you guys. The next thing I'm going to be running will be, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, will be the Techno and that Pico. And that thing is a badass. Okay, so peace out. Thanks again, people. Everybody that's made this possible. I'm out.